We have finally made it, Al.
We have.
It's time to graduate. Time to have that ceremony.
Man, I've had so many graduations at this point.
It's time to say goodbye. The seniors are moving on
They are.
to the bright frontier
Of college.
of college, of collage. Welcome to episode number 41
Poof.
of Jared and Al Watch K-On! I am Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Lady M.
Hello.
And we are here to discuss the television series finale of K-On! Season 2, episode number 24. It's called Graduation Ceremony.
Hey, I wonder what's going to happen in this episode.
Nothing. Just gonna sit around and drink tea.
Seems legit.
We finally made it. The end of the road.
That's a song.
Still, I can't let go.
It's a natural.
How many times are we gonna make this joke on this podcast? Like, how many times are we gonna do it? The spoiler is that we're gonna continue to do it.
Yeah, we're going to continue to do it. It's
We will
funny.
probably do it next episode too. Let's be
It's
real.
funny.
It is. We begin the finale. The seniors are the day of their graduation. They're gonna walk to school together. Mugi, Ritsu, and Mio are all at the meeting spot. They're waiting for Yui. Yui's like, "Go on without me."
Yui gonna Yui.
Ritsu calls Yui, doesn't get a response, so they decide to wait a little bit, and then a car passes and they see Yui out of breath. She's like, I woke up early and then I started playing Geetsa. I'm sorry.
I forgot the time.
So they all rush to school because they are late.
Yep.
They are the last ones to show up for their class. Train, please. They
He's like, I love K-On!
they run past Azusa, Jun, and Ui, and they don't notice them. Because the juniors are on their way to give flowers to the seniors as part of the ceremony. Their corsages.
They're corsages.
Yeah. Azusa is trying to look past as they walk up the stairs and rams her face into the wall. Bap!
Get some boo.
Yeah. So they show up at school and Miss Yamanaka's like, "What are you doing?"
Get
Like,
your
"We're sorry.
corsage."
We were late." And also Yui ripped her tights. They're like,
Yep.
"Oh no, what are we gonna do?" And Nodoka's like, "Don't worry, Ui left me a change of tights in case something bad happened." They're like, "Oh, thank God."
Ui is like the true superhero of K-On!
She really is. So Yui goes off and tries to get her tights changed. The other three are still there. They're approached by another classmate who's like, "Hey, we got this board for Miss Yamanaka. We want you to sign it because you're the only ones who haven't. But we're also keeping it a secret. So make sure she doesn't see it."
This
So
should go well.
The three of them sign it, and then they go out to the outside on the grounds, and this is where the juniors present the seniors with their corsage. Which I thought it was weird that like a bunch of these random people gave the Light Music Club theirs, and Ozzy gave hers to some random senior.
Yeah.
Like, I figured they would have been more like, they give it to the Light Music Club, and that would be it. But nope. Just a
Yeah,
random
you would
person.
think that like Ui would give Yui hers.
Right.
You'd think Azusa would give like Mio hers.
Right, something like that. But nope.
Nope, just random people.
Just random folks. So they all do that. The four seniors get back together, and Ritsu gives Yui the card, and she's like, "Hey, you need to sign this at some point. Also, we still have to find a way to somehow hide this throughout the entire ceremony." And Yui's like, I'll hide it under my shirt."
Yep.
And she just carries it, looking like she's like going to throw up.
Yep.
And so she's trying to hide it throughout the entire ceremony. And Shamanaka spots Yui at one point and is like, "What is wrong with her?
Is she gonna throw up?
Did she have a stomach ache? Wait a minute, she was hiding something before we came in here. What is she up to?" And she's like staring daggers at Yui the whole time, and she's like doesn't notice. And then Mio's the one who picks up on it, and it's like, "Pass this message on to Yui. Miss Yamanaka's got her eye out for her, or is concerned about her."
Mm-hmm.
And so the message gets passed along throughout the rest of the class, and eventually gets to Yui, and the person's like, "Message from Miho. Miss Yamanaka's got corn fed for you." He was like, "Why
Miss
does she have
Yamanaka's
corn fed?
corn-fed.
Why is she eating here?" Eventually, Nodoka gives her speech and everything else kind of just goes off pretty well. They go back outside. Yui writes her message, but it's very formal, and they're like, "What, you would write that for a wedding? What are you doing?" Miss Yamanaka runs into them again. Is like, "What are you guys doing? Yui, you in particular were acting real weird. I missed the entire thing because I was focused on you." And she's like, "It's nothing. Gotta go. We better go back to the classroom. Gotta get those diplomas after all." So they all go back to the classroom. They get their diplomas. Yui looks at hers. It says she graduated and everything, so it is official.
Mm-hmm.
She's very excited about the tube sound.
That tube sound is really satisfying, so
It's
I
really
understand.
good.
I definitely understand that.
Miss Yamanaka says like, "Hey, make sure your name's spelled correctly. If it is, put it back in very carefully, and then take it home with you and everything."
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets emotional because she gives this like nice speech of like telling them all, go off on your own and everything. And she was very proud to have this class as her first like homeroom class that she was able to send off into the world and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when she gives like her speech, like one of the classmates is like, "We have a gift for you. Who was the last to sign it?" And you was like, "Me, it was me." So she goes up and is like, "Here you go." So she gives her the card, and it has like all these thank you notes and everything on it from the class, and it makes Miss Yamanaka real emotional and everything. So we get that. After that, it's basically the class like all taking photos with each other. There's a bunch of girls who go and take pictures with like music club. One girl goes up and is like, "I really liked all your performances. I'm glad you're all gonna get to play music together. All of your shows were real funny." And they're like, "That's the word you want to use?"
Yep.
They notice that Miss Yamanaka is very popular. Everyone's taking photos with her. She goes back to the classroom for like one final time, and like there's a bunch of just notes written all over the chalkboard as well that says like thank you and everything.
It didn't translate for me, so I was like, "Yep,
Yeah.
those sure are some words." Don't die.
So they go up to the club room. Azusa shows up. So they start talking about the rest of the club. Azusa's very like, "I'll keep the club alive. Do not worry. I will do what it takes." She gives them all like little nice formal like thank you letters that she passes out to everyone. She's about to like congratulate them on graduating, and she puts her bag down and notices like all 4 of the diplomas, and like
She starts like crying.
yeah.
And it's like, "Don't graduate." And I was like,
She breaks down right then and there, and everyone's like, "Oh no."
yeah.
No. And she's like, don't graduate. I'll make sure I won't get on you guys for making the room messy or slacking off. Just don't leave. And they're like, "Oh no." Yui like just pulls out like this book. It's like, "Here, I want you to have this. It's a photo of us when we were freshmen." And there's just a picture of Azusa stuck on there. Just, "Here's a flower." And the rest of them like, "What are you doing? You're making all your gifts look cool compared to us. You jerk." And then they also get together and like, we have a gift for you, Azusa. We came together and did this, so we're gonna have you sit down and we're gonna play you a song. So they play a new song that they wrote called Tenshi ni Furute Yo, or We Touched an Angel. And it's like a song just about Azusa and like how much she means to them and everything, and it's very good.
Yeah.
Azusa cries during it.
Same.
It's
Once I
rough.
actually saw what it was about, I was like, "Oh, yep, okay."
You also get the rare part of all 4 girls singing in the anime
Yes.
specifically, which
That
does
is
not
true.
happen. Azusa very much enjoys it, but at the end she's also like, "Wow, guys, you are really bad." Miss Yamanaka and Nodoka also show up, and they finished the year off by just having tea and just chilling. And also they by the end of it they have Azusa join them to play music together one last time. And that's how they wrap the show up. Before we talk about anything else, there's a bit of trivia. Like I mentioned, this episode is the only one in which we see Ritsu and Mugi sing.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the anime, they've obviously done shows and everything. In the show itself, Mugi did the lyrics to Honey Sweet Tea Time, but it is never included as an insert song in the anime, which is interesting because it's actually, I think it shows up on the set list they make for the tape last episode. So there's that. Both contribute vocals to Tsubasa wo Kudasai, which is Give Me Wings, which is a single they did. As well as Hokugo Tea Time, the final track of the studio mix of their album. And then, of course, they also have like their own individual character songs, which we've seen in the game.
Yep.
That they sing and all that sort of stuff. But this is the only time they get to sing in the actual anime itself. And then parts of this episode are also done again in the K-On! Movie, just because the movie kind of takes place around graduation time again, so it's kind of like a different take on how the anime ends. But yeah, that is the K-On! Television anime.
We did it.
We did it. We finished. We've got through the whole thing of it. As we next year will be the 10-year anniversary of this finale episode airing, and they still haven't done an anime adaptation of those last two mangas, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
Because I think you could definitely make at least enough, like a 12 episode run out of just both K-On! High School and K-On! College. There is a new K-On! Manga being created right now, and really? I wonder if that gets like enough material and stuff, if they'll make just an anime of that instead. But that remains to be seen, because that manga is still relatively new, so like there's not enough of it right now to really constitute making an anime of it. But
so what is that?
It's essentially kind of the same story. It's a group of girls making a light music club, but I believe it kind of is. It takes place concurrently or around the same time that original K-On! Does, because they mention specifically characters from the original manga and anime. So, like, oh, the Sakura Gaoka Light Music Club's real good, like stuff like that. So, those characters are known, but like, it doesn't really focus on them. It's like a bunch of new characters. So,
okay.
But yeah, you've made it through all of K-On! Well, all of TV K-On! We still have the movie
K-On!
to watch. As this has been our longest run of Jared Now Watch, I guess we'll get into this more in probably the next episode when we officially wrap up the this run of it.
The thoughts and feelings part of it.
Yeah, but like, what did you briefly? What was your thoughts about K-On! Overall?
I thought it was really fun. It was definitely slice of life, which was awesome. And goofy, but still made me feel things. Led to some great arguments with me and you about rice.
Yeah, it did.
I've discovered that Fuwa time is evil. Evil. And also, I think we discovered this pretty early, but I prefer the Mio fronted songs because I gravitate to those a lot.
But you're Yui.
Yui is my favorite. Yui is absolutely my favorite.
Yeah.
She does things that, like, maybe I'm not as ditzy as Yui, but I relate to Yui a lot. She's so good. I really like Yui.
She's good.
So yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I think it's a good show. I know that's kind of like base level, like, oh, I liked it analysis there, but it's true. I mean, it was a really, really fun show with like positive girls being friends without any kind of like gross negativity nonsense.
Right.
Which is rad. And like, yeah, the whole like music club thing was their deal, but it was more just about like these girls being friends.
Hmm.
That's what the show's about.
Yeah.
And I like that.
It's fun.
It is fun, and it's I got sprayed. It's just I don't see this very often, so
Right.
it was exciting for me.
Yeah. I definitely warned you getting close to this episode and getting into this episode, like, this episode's gonna get rough.
Yeah, and it definitely was. It was. I was doing okay until Azusa started losing it, and then I was less okay.
I was like building up to it throughout the whole episode because obviously I've seen it before, but it's like I was just like, oh boy. And then the Azusa part just like breaks you, and then the song breaks you again. It's just like, oh boy.
Which, it did suck for me that like it originally didn't have subs. So
Yeah.
you had to help me out on that one. But then like once I did get subs, it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that was
The lyrics of that song really make it to why
Yeah.
like it's so emotional.
I mean, it's a cute song as it is, but like the lyrics very much make it
Mm-hmm.
super, super emotional. But yeah, I mean, I genuinely got the sense from it that like these girls like each other, they're friends, they're gonna be there for each other as much as they can. Like, sometimes you watch shows or play games or whatever, and like it says that they're friends. You're like, are they really though? Like this one, yes, they really are.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you get to see their whole experience going, from the beginning of high school and then all the way up through their graduation. You get to see their entire arc of
Yeah,
that
it's
3
crazy.
years. So
You don't see that often either, to see people go through like their entire high school career in an anime.
and I think it's kind of one of the things that makes it such a bummer that like they never went ahead and adapted the rest of the manga.
Yeah.
Because it would be a lot of fun just to see like, okay, how does Azusa lead her light music club? How does she do when she's in charge of it? Like when she is the head honcho of it and having to make the decisions of how to recruit people, how to bring people in, how to perform the songs she wants to perform, and then vice versa of like, how does the seniors, or not seniors, but the others in the light music club, the original four, how do they navigate all of the things that happen in college? Like how do they navigate it going up against these other light music clubs that they will also have to deal with and everything, all these other bands that they are going to meet and become influenced by or form rivalries with. There's a lot of interesting like just scenarios and dynamics that occur within both of those mangas that would have been interesting to see like in an anime form. And K-On! By itself was fairly popular.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing that like that never happened.
I would be really interested to see like how Azusa runs hers, because obviously like she had a different mindset going in than the rest of them, but then like since then she has adapted more of like who they are. Like
Right.
she's not adapted, adopted is the word I'm looking for. But she's like loosened up a bit and become more like her friends.
Mhm.
So I'd
And
be interested to see like how they implement that in her
And especially
version.
since she's bringing in Ui and June with her too, like you would imagine she's not gonna just like go revert back to being like the very strict and stern Azusa that she was when she first comes in. But
right.
I suppose if you want to read both of those both of those mangas are translated and available in English. So,
I should do that.
Yeah, that will give you the finality of the story and everything. So
Probably after I finish moving.
yeah, totally. But yeah, that's gonna wrap this episode up. We have one final episode of Jared Now Watch K-On! Left. If you have followed the series, you know that a lot of times we finish up the television anime run, and then by the end of it, we are like, oh well, we have a movie to wait for.
Yep.
The positive of this series being that it aired 10 years ago is that all of that stuff's already here.
Yes.
There's no waiting.
We already have the movie.
We have the movie. It is available. It has been available for a long time, so no waiting around. Next week, for sure, we will be discussing on Jared and I'll watch episode number 42, the season finale of Jared and I'll watch K-On!. We will talk about the K-On! Movie.
Mm-hmm.
As once again we will see the seniors graduate, but if you remember one of the OVAs where they had to get passports and everything,
they're gonna go on a trip.
We gotta go on a graduation trip.
Yay!
And spend some time overseas.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. So look forward to that next week as we finally we put the bow, we put the wrapping, we finish up Jared and I watch K-On! And we will also, of course, we'll have some exciting news on what happens for season 4 of Jared and I watch.
And say next week we'll probably reveal what we've chosen for.
We will definitely reveal what we have chosen, and we have that
loaded.
Locked and loaded. We are ready for that. So we will reveal that next time as well. But if you would like more from us, go to seasonallycheckup.com or ssc.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Season Anime Checkup and Season Anime Checkup OVA. Almost did it again. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. And you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/anime checkup. So join us next time for the season finale of Jared and I'll watch K-On! As we discuss K-On! The movie.